Okay, so today we will start with DA using Python. So we will start with week 1, introduction to Python, yeah, and we will cover data manipulation today. So let's start. Okay, so here to write something inside the notebook, here you can see we have 3 options. One is to write code, and second one is to use Markdown. And so we use so if you have to write something, then we need to firstly choose Markdown here. And if you need to add header, then you need to start with hash sign. Okay, so change this to Markdown and then write the similar things that I have written here. Basic Python programming for data manipulation. Try to write this down using convert this to Markdown first and then write this information. So if you go to Markdown cheat set in Python. So can you hear me, Vishal? Are you with me?
Sorry, yes, my mic was muted.
Okay. So if we look at the cheat sheet for Markdown, here you can see to for header we need to give one hash. So if we give two hash here, that means subheader. Okay, we give two hash. If this is your subheader. Okay, if you give three hash, the size will continue to decrease.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, so to give a header, you need to start with the hash sign here. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so to make anything bold, we need to give two asterisk here and two asterisk here. Okay, for example, if I need to write something down here, like for example, data analyst course, if I give two asterisk, if I convert this to Markdown, you don't want to, and this would be a bold. Okay,
Okay.
so you can follow this cheat set. I'll send you Skype.
Okay.
So write this header information first. So okay. So all good.
Yeah.
So I will start with very basic, like to declare and assign value. For example, if I assign x as 1, y as. So we need to make sure that whenever we write the code, we give one space. Okay. So we need to always make sure we give one space, x plus y. That's the So right now this is in Markdown. That's why if we run this, this will be hard coded. So this, if you need to make this work as a code, you need to convert this to code. Okay. And if we done this, then we will get the output too. Okay. So if you look at Python pp pst Python coding conventions. It's somewhere it's given like we should always start with one space before and after the variable we declare. Okay, so this is basic addition. Now if we need to look what value we have in x, then we can even simply run this and check. This is just like writing line by line code and compiling the result. So you can write line by line code and see what result you are getting, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's one very powerful use of Jupyter Notebook. You can write your text information, you can make bold, you can add any text information, you can run your code line by line, you can add several visualization. So that's the benefit of using Jupyter Notebook. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So to check the type, we simply give type of x. So type of x is int. So to check the data type, we simply give type. And suppose if you need to check 2.1 was the type is float. Okay. So if you check type of none, then it will check like it's non-type. Okay, so this type will give us tell you whether your variable is integer, float, boolean, and so on. So
So,
pi-
one question, like, we use this in our college project,
mhm.
doing clustering and thing, and then like there were like two these boxes like to write code, and then in one boxes there was like initialize the value, or say like import the libraries, Python libraries, and then in another cell, in for example in 6 there was imported the library,
Yeah,
and then in
yeah,
7 there was a code.
yeah. We will do that. We
So
will do that.
it
Yeah,
like it's the same thing,
yeah.
like
It's the same thing. Yeah, we need to first import all the libraries. For importing all the libraries, first we write all the libraries in first cell, and
mhm.
then we start coding. We start using that library. So
So like it's basically like we are in the
yeah, so
same
if it
file, but then only display is different, right?
yeah,
It's
so
like
here yeah, it's completely everything is same. So if you use PyCharm or Atom, or even I use Atom most of the time. So it's like similar. Everything is similar, but the difference is here you can run your code line by line.
okay,
Okay,
okay.
you can run your code line by line. You can add your visualization here, histogram, box plot, all
Mm,
sort of visualization. You can make it more clear and concise
mm.
in your notebook. You can
Okay.
even you can even add your text information. You can make things bold. You can add a header. So all these things you can do in Jupyter Notebook. Okay,
Mm.
so in Atom you can add your text information, but we need to give that as your comment. Like we can,
Yes,
yeah, we give that as comment. So it's everything is similar. If you your
I
uh,
usually use
use the Atom or PyCharm or anything you use, everything is
BS
similar.
code. I use BS code usually.
Okay, it's if you use VS Code, it's same. We need to declare first the libraries, whatever libraries you want, and it will. So here if you run this code, it will run at once, but
Mm-hmm.
here the thing is we can run cell by cell. Every cell we can execute
Okay.
and check what's going on. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's the difference.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question?
No, I was confusing that.
Okay, so to check the type of variable, we use type function. Okay, so if you have some complex for example, if you want to, if you create a class, or if you write some complex code, for example here I have written the uh, code that performs a decision tree, so that does the manipulation of decision tree is used in machine learning. So I
Mm-hmm.
have written code to calculate decision tree from scratch. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
here, so this is really complex code, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and it involves classes and functions and methods, right? So if your code is very lengthy, okay, for example, if you have declaring class, inside class you are declaring a method and all, so in that case you can write your code in atom somewhere, and you can call that script in Jupyter notebook. Okay,
Oh.
for example, this code I have written here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in order to call this code, we simply use like import this name
Oh, okay.
and asterisk from decision tree. Okay, decision tree import asterisk. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
this will import all the functions and methods that we have here. So if you have a long and lengthy code, okay,
Mm-hmm.
then we prefer to write that in separate PyCharm or
Text
Atom
editor.
or any text editor. And if you need to do some visualization, or if you want to check your code line by line, then we use this Jupyter notebook. Okay, so if you even Google somewhere, if you even Google like let's say if you Google data analytics project, okay, GitHub, open here if you can see data analysis with movie data, let's say. Okay, so all they have done their analysis in Jupyter notebook file.
Mm-hmm.
So Jupyter notebook file starts with IPYMG. Okay, so here this is very easy. Like you can give your introduction. So whenever you do your analysis or whenever you do anything,
Mm-hmm.
you start with project. Make it very documentative. Like whatever you are doing, write everything step by step, because right now the more you write, the more you explain things,
Mm-hmm.
that makes you a better communicator, better writer, right? So then your recruiter can say that he's not only focused on writing codes, he's also focused on explaining things in
Mm-hmm.
a good way. So whatever you do, try to make it give more information
Mm-hmm.
as you can. So you can see here,
Mm-hmm.
so data analytics with movie data, you can see here he has given a brief introduction about what is there in movie data set.
Mm-hmm.
Then what he did, he he has 5 questions. After looking at movie data set, he came up with 5 questions. What can he find from movie data set? So he have written those 5 questions, and he will do analysis on the basis of these 5 questions.
Mm-hmm.
So here you can see you can import the files easily. You can check the distribution, your mean mode, standard deviation. We will do all these things later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm just showing you like you can add some visualization here.
Yeah.
Okay, visualization here. So these things are clear and neatly presented in Jupyter notebook.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and if you want to write some hard code, long lengthy code, then you can use your PyCharm or any text editor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and there you can write your code, and you can call that in Jupyter notebook. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, that makes sense, right?
Yep.
Okay, so this was the type of variable. So whether variable is integer, float, or non-type, we can check by using type function. So now, so to check your any value, it's true or not. Let's say if you declare a empty list. So to declare the list, we use two square bracket. Okay. Okay. So if you declare a list, and if you want to check uh, your your bool of L1, like It's what will your empty list returns. Okay, so if you check the boolean value of L1, it will always return false. Okay, so if your value is blank, or let's say, so this one square bracket is for declaring list. Okay. So if you declare a dictionary, let's say the one, it starts with double quote, declare dictionary. So if you check the boolean value of D1, so if the empty value will always be your false. Okay, check the bool of D1, it will always be false. So what cases will be false? If it is none, okay, if it is none or false, we'll evaluate as false. If it is zero, then also it will return as false. Okay, so
Mhm.
let's say, if you declare x as none, and if you want to check the pool of x, so this also gives you false. Okay, so if you declare x as blank, and if you check your bool of x, then this will also give false. Okay, and even if you declare x as 0.0, okay, and if you check boolean of x, this will always give you false. Even if you declare the empty set, and if you check the bool of x, this will give you false. And even if you do x equals range of 0, and you check bool of x, this also give you false. So what things will give you false? So if you have none, 0, or decimal of 0, or the empty blank, so if you have these values, then if you check the bool type, then it will give you false information. Okay, so in this way you can check if you have declared your variable and it's 0.0. Now if you want to check the boolean type, either it's true or false, it will always give you false. Okay, because it's 0 or blank or none will always give you false result. Okay, now very basic, how to declare a function in Python is start with def. So let's say if you want to add to number, so def underscore number, to simply give parameter x comma y, and this will always start with semicolon. This is semicolon, and if you want to return x plus y. Okay, so if we do add of 2 comma 3, it will give you 5. Now if you want to make a third parameter as default, which means like, if there are two numbers, then do addition. If there are three numbers, then even do addition. You can also make third parameter as default. For example, if you give add number bracket x comma y comma z equals none. Okay, so if your z is equals to none, then return x plus y. Okay. Else return x plus y plus j. Okay, so what we have done here is, if we give two value, for example, if we give 2 comma 3, it will still do your addition. Okay, also if we give third parameter as 2, it will also do your addition. Like we have made third parameter as default. Okay, if we don't have anything in third variable, simply return the addition of first and second variable. Okay, so if we don't have anything in variable, in third parameter, simply return the sum of first two parameters. Okay, else else if there is a third parameter, then do the addition. Okay, this makes sense, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we can also make add fourth parameter as flag. Let's say if I add def number x comma y comma third parameter is my none and fourth parameter is my flag, and that is equals to false. Okay, so if flag is equals to true, then print flag as true. If z is equals to none, then return x plus y. Okay, so if flag is equals to true, then print flag as true. If z equals to none, then return x plus y. Else return x plus y plus z. So what we have done here is we have set a flag by default as false. Okay, so let's say if I give value here 2 comma 3, so it will give me 5. Okay, so if I give a third parameter as 3, and I will, if I set flag equals to true, then here it will go in this line and it will give flag as true and will do the addition. Okay, and let's say if I don't give this 3 here, then it will still set the flag as true and it will give the output. If you even don't give this, it will still give you the output, but it will simply give the addition of this, but it will not set your flag. Okay, so three things we can do from here. Okay, so first thing, if you simply do an addition of 2 comma 3, so it will give 5. Okay, because your flag is by default false and your z is by default none, we don't know, we have simply considered this as none means nothing and flag is your false. Okay, so here simply output will be 5. Okay, or and if we don't give flag anything here, now this will simply do your addition. Okay, because if we have value in z, then it will go in third clause else. So if flag is true, then it will print this value. If your z is none, then it will simply add x plus y. Okay, else it will add x plus y plus z. Right now we have x, y, and z. So right now we have x equals 2, y equals 3, and z equals 3. Okay, so this will do addition. Okay, because this is already false, right? So now if we add this as comma 3, this as true, then this will set your flag as true, because here we have written if flag is equals to true, then print this. Okay, so the motive of doing this is we can turn on and off our flag, right? We can even make third parameter as default. So that's the motive of writing this function. Okay, we can turn on and off so to write a comment here we use three brackets, three quote. So within that, so here the use of flag is simply to show the default parameter. Use of flag and z, is simply to show how how the default parameter works, right? So this is the main. So to write comment inside your function, we use three quotation here.
Mhm.
Okay. So any question here?
No, it's fine.
Okay. So to declare a function, we also start with def, and then we end our function with semicolon. So we need to remember that. And also the alignment should be similar. Like for example, if clause is here, the if should be here. If you do if here, then this will not work. It will show you an unindented does not match, because if clause will be right, if clause that should synchronize, right? The position of if else should match. For example, if we do here as, this again give you an error. Okay, so we need to be careful of indentation. Okay, so the basic collections in Python is the collections are container that are used to store collections of data. So we store the collection of data either in list or in dictionary or in sets or in through tuple. So what is tuple? Tuple are an immutable data structure. That means once we create a tuple, we cannot alter the position, right? For example, if I give x equals, so to create a tuple, we always start with bracket. Okay, so let's say 1 2 a and c. So this is your tuple. So if you check type of x, so this will give you tuple. Okay, so this always starts with this bracket. Whereas your list, so is mutable, means we can change the position of list. Okay, so for example, if your list is 1 2 a comma b, so now if you check the type of x, now this is your list. Okay, because this always starts with square bracket. Okay, now to iterate the value of the list, we can use a for loop. So for suppose for items in x, so here we can the iterate our list. Okay, also if we want to check, then suppose if I want to check one in the list, you can simply check. Suppose if one is there in x, yeah, it's true. We can even check, simply give here if one's there in 1 2 3, it will give you true. If one is four is there in 1 2 3, it will give you false. Okay, likewise we can append a value in the list. Okay, so you can x dot append, so you can check this documentation.
Mhm.
Okay, so you can check. Can check this link, so I'm gonna add this link to you. So let's say if I have added 5, so we can add by using append, and let's say x here, so it's appended at the last. Okay, so we can append, add, delete, so we can do all sort of manipulation. Okay, so you can view this document. So to slice, so to for slicing, for example, so for slicing can be, for example, if x is equals to, this is strings. So if we do x bracket 0, this will return you, this will return the first word. If we do x up till 10, this will be return first to 10 words. Okay, so also if we give x as -1, this will start, -1 will start from last. Okay, so let's say if you have x as 1 2 3 4 5, so if you give here, if x start from 1 to 4, so 1 to 4, 1 to 4 means 1 0 1 2 3 4. So this index will be 0, first, second, third, fourth. Okay, so 4 means the 4 will not be included. Okay, so it will be 1 2 3 will be included. And if we give here, like say 2, 2 means we need to start with 2 steps. This means like 2 steps means start with second and fourth. This will be second and fourth. Okay, so if my list is 1 2 3 4, for example. Okay, and if I gave x as 1 to 4. Okay, so here the 4 is exclusive, right? Here 4 is exclusive, so 4 is not included. That means the index will always start from 0 1 2 3. Index will always start from 0 1 2 3. So here 1 to 4 means from 2 to 3, right? Okay, so your list index always starts from, the list index always starts from 0
0.
1 2 3. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
if we give x as 1 to 4, okay, means 1, this 4 is exclusive, right? 1 to 4 we give means 4 is not counted. This means like 1 2 3. Okay, so here 1 to 4 means this 4 is exclusive. That means we need to look for 1 to 3. So 1 to 3 is, so 0 1 2 3. 1 to 3 is, the output will be 2
2,
comma
3.
3 comma 4. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but if we give like 1 is to, so 1 is to 4 is to 2. Okay, so this 2 is your step. Okay, so 1 to 4 means the 4 is, this is exclusive, means 1 to 3. We need to look 1 to 3. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so here x is 1 2 3 4. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so index is 0 1 2 3.
3.
So this 4 is exclusive means we need to look from 1 to 3. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so 1 to 3 means here to here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And take 2 steps. Okay, so 2 steps will be, first will be the 2 and second one will be 4. Okay, so 2 steps means your output will be 2 comma 4. Okay,
No, I don't understand the two step. Last one.
so this is your steps, like how much steps. So iterating from 1 to 4. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so take 2 steps. That means like take 2 steps. Okay, so for example if we give here 1 means 1 would be like taking. So 1 would be by default. That means take. So here if we give 1 means like at every step take 1 position, right? That means go from 1 to 3. So go from 1 to 3. So going from 1 to 3 means we are taking 1 steps, right? We are taking 1 step, 1 step, right? So
Mm-hmm.
1 step is involved by going from 1 to 3, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's why it gives you an output 2 3 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we give x bracket 1 is to 4 is to 1, means we are
Okay.
going from. So here what we are going from, so this 4 means 4 is not included, right?
Mm.
Means 3.
Three.
So this is 3. So 1 2 3 and take 1 step. So 1 step is going here, 1 step is going here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my output is 2 3 4. Now if we give 1 is to 4 is to 2 means take 2 steps. Okay, start from 1. Okay, and then take 2 steps. Okay,
Mm.
so 1 and then 2 steps. Okay, start
Mm.
from 1. So 1 is your 2 and 2 steps is your 4.
Four.
Okay, so
Mm.
your output is 4. So yeah, so if you give here 2, output is 4. Okay,
I'm having problem here.
okay,
Um,
let
can
me
I?
stop share my screen. Okay,
Yeah. Okay. Thank
okay.
you. So when I declare one function and try to run here, I'm getting this error. Name addition is not defined. What do you mean not defined? Def addition is function.
Your y is x plus y is capital there. Return x plus small y in here.
This
Yeah.
one. Hmm.
Try to run that first. Upper one. Yeah. Now try. Yeah.
Oh, we have to first run this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. That's what this strange thing is.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Suppose let's say you have addition here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you again make another function that is addition, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you have another value,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Then if you don't compile that, if you don't run that,
Mm-hmm.
then it will not work right now. So to call addition you need to run first addition function.
Each time, every time.
No, it's not every time. So
Also,
now you can run as many time as you want.
okay. Also, first it will compile and then. Oh,
Then
I
it will.
thought that like if I call addition, then it will source addition function to the whole page and then it will run.
No, it will only search in this page, in this block, in this cell.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So like if there is like multiple function and I have like if there is two addition function and then
You need to
I've
compile
compiled
which
both
one.
of
Yeah.
them, then
Yeah.
it will follow that the same function overriding
So
function.
yeah. So the last function which you have written,
Mm-hmm.
that will if you have same two addition function, but
Mm-hmm.
inside you have written separate logic
Mm-hmm.
for two function. So the latest function that you have written,
Mm-hmm.
that will be applied.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So if you want to apply the
Mm-hmm.
older one, then you need to run your script before the new one where you have written.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So it will run the latest one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Maybe.
yeah, once you try yourself, like it will be clear for you. It will
Mm,
be clear if you start doing.
mm,
Okay.
mm.
So yeah. So try to do this step. Try to do slicing using start, end, and step method.
Okay.
Also, yeah, try to do this first. Okay, so also to inverse the list, we give double column and -1. So this will inverse your list. So this is often asked in interview, how to inverse list. Okay, you all good?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I was telling you is here I have declared x as this is strings, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And again I have declared here x as this,
List.
right? So if I run this, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and if I don't run this one, okay, and if I run this statement, then this will again work on basis of this variable that I have declared, because I
Mm-hmm.
haven't run this statement.
Mm-hmm.
So I have only run this and then again I run this. So this will show the result of the one that I have
Oh,
done first. Okay. So if I execute this again and if I run this, then it will show the result on basis of this variable. Okay.
okay. Yeah.
So did you understood the concept of step,
Oh,
or
yes. Yes.
shall I tell you again or
No, no, no.
explain?
Yeah, I understood this.
Okay.
Slice and step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So to inverse the list, we simply do two. We leave the start and end, and we simply use -1
Mm-hmm.
as our step function. Okay, so this will
Mm-hmm.
inverse the list. Likewise, if there is something, some variable, if you have declared, let's say Dr. Jones Brooks. Okay, now if you want to if you want to print only middle part Jones,
Mm-hmm.
then you can even use same approach. So it starts with 4, 1, 2, 3, and one space is there.
Mm-hmm.
So 4, and then it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So 4 to 9. Give, give us the first
Mm-hmm.
name. Okay. So this is how slicing work. And even suppose I have my name. Suppose for example, Ajay Kumar. So what we can do here, so we know that my name is separated with space, right? So
Mm-hmm.
after Ajit we have space, after Kumar we have space, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we can do is we can use a split function. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
this is my name. Okay, suppose this is my name. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we can use name dot split and then give bracket. This will split my name basis of three. So my separator is blank. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so split my name. So if I want to only extract first name, I can use 0.
Oh, okay.
Second name can use 1. So this is also very handy
Mm.
and often asked in interview, like a
Oh,
0, 1, 2. Okay. So you can use a split function to split the value. Suppose if you have here has, for example, has. So your name is your name, your separator is has. Okay, so we can even give has here. Okay, and this also works the same. So your hash is your separator. Okay, so it was not showing because this was this was this was running previously. That's why this was not, it was saying complete name. Okay, so if we make any changes here, let's say add has,
mm-hmm.
so we need to compile this. We need to compile this, then we need to compile this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay, try to do this even.
Okay. Uh,
All good.
yes. Now I understand.
Okay, so dictionary stores the result in key value pair, right?
Yes.
So let's say if I start, let's say I have declared John is your key, and the value is your is email address. Okay, john@gmail.com. So so your dictionary always starts with curly bracket, and you should always have key and value pair.
Mhm.
Okay. Ja- gmail.com. Okay, so if we need to look what's the value of John, so we can simply use John here, and we can see what's value, what's the what value we have for John. So what's the email address for John? You can pass that key, you can get the value. So to iterate, we can use a while loop for print I. So this will give all the key pair. So if you want a value pair, then so we can use a key comma value. to get both key and the value from in
Okay.
x dot items. Yeah.
Mhm.
So if you print key comma value, this will give you both key and value here. Okay. And if you only need, for example, key, then we can use for I in x dot keys here and print I. So this will only give you keys. And if you only need a value, then you can give x dot values. So this will only give you value.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let's say, suppose for example, you have x variable. Okay. So your x variable, you have stored your information. For example, stored my first name, last name, and email address. Let's say it.example something at gmail.com. Okay. So you can even give first name. Can you like your first name comma last name comma email equals to x. If you give this, then if you look at your last name, you'll have your last name. And if you give email, then you'll have your email address. So in this way, if you define your variable as in a tuple, and if you assign it in, so how many variable you have? You have three values. So you need to give three values here. Okay. So if you give here four, so for example, x, y, z, give here x, x, s. So this will not work because the numbers should match. Here you have declared three items in a tuple, so you need to give three items here. Okay. So why we did this? So that we can fetch, if you need to use this information like the last name or email address somewhere else. So in this way we can store that information in this way, your first name, last name, email, and can use this information somewhere else if we want to use this information.
That's key we have given.
And right now this is not key, this is simply a tuple.
Mm.
So to fetch the value of each tuple,
Mm.
each tuple, yeah?
Okay.
So to fetch the value of each tuple, we can store this information separately. Okay, as our first name, last name. So
Mm.
if you can store this information separately in first name, last name, and email, and you can fetch that information somewhere else if you want to.
Mm.
So we can store in this way, comma, by giving comma. Okay. So now we will discuss some built-in functions.
Mm.
So let's say if I declare a list L1, so 156 0. So as I said, like 0 will be false, like
Mm-hmm.
0 is your false and all remaining is your true. Okay. So any means, if we use any, okay, any of list L1 means if any will return true if any of this sequence variable are true. So here this 3 is true and
Mm-hmm.
1 is false. Okay. So what will this return? This will return
True.
true. Okay. And all we have all function. So all means all values should be true.
Mm.
Here the all value is not true because 0 means false, right? So
Mm.
this will return false. Okay. So if we change this to 10, let's say, now if we see all, this will return 2 because 10 is always here positive. If we give here 0 and we see all, then this will be false because 0 is your 0 will always return false, right? So that's how we check any and all. So any means any item in the list is true, then it will return true.
Mm.
All means your all items should be true, right? So all items should be true. Then only it will return true, else it will return false. Okay, we can even use the dict function to create our dictionary. So we can even simply use dict dict. Okay, suppose for example name equals John, comma is equals 36. So, COUN TRY country is Norway. Okay, and if we look at X, it's in dictionary form. Okay, so we can even simply declare dictionary in this way even. Dict function, if we give dict, and this will also create a dictionary for you.
Mhm.
Okay, so likewise we have iter. Iter means iter in Python is an object that is used to iterate over iterable objects like list, tuple, dictionary, and so on. For
Mhm.
example, if we have a list here, so if we give iter of list one, and if we give next, then this will continuously iterate. Okay, so here you can see Jan, then Feb, then March. If we add again so on 4 or 5 times, it will it will not iterate because after April we don't have anything, right? So
Yes.
it will end January, February, March, April. So it will be iterate till here, and it will not iterate after this. Okay? So next will iterate your value like next item. It will look for next item. Yeah. So
Next means building function to
yeah. So this is
add
suppose
one.
yeah.
Okay.
So this will so if you again print next one, this will return the second one. Okay. If you again print the third one, this will return third one next, and so on. Okay.
So like if we write something like for I in iter list one, then will it work?
Uh, so suppose the use case of iter is
Mm.
let's say if you have a file for let's say if you have a test files, right? So
Mm.
in test file you have so let's say if you have a notepad and you have a test file, so for something is written here, something is written here, something is written here. So if you want to fetch this information, so this is in first line, this is in the second line, this is your third line, right? So
Mm.
in that case we use iter, and we fetch for second line, we use iter in a loop. Okay, so that we can first iterate through this file, and then we use next. Okay, so that once in one in first case it will look for first line, then second line, then third line. In that case we use iter.
Okay.
And okay, so let's say for example we have, so for I in list one we do. Okay, and this will give you the I. Okay, so first January, February, March, April. So let's say if you want to know the index, so if you also want to print the index, okay, so you can give range. Okay, range of length of your list. Okay, so this will print 0 1 2 3. So this will become 4. So here 1 2 3 4. Okay, so range will always start from 0
Mm-hmm.
to 4. Okay, so right now if you also need the value of your list, you can simply do list one bracket I. So this will
Mm.
give you index and value. But this is not a good way of writing code. Instead we use enumerate. I think you know this. Enumerate will automatically generate the counter for each item. It will automatically generate a counter. Okay, so let's say if we use for I in enumerate, if we do enumerate of list 1, and if we print I, so this will automatically generate your index starting from 0, right? So we don't write the code in this way, okay? Never write the code in this way. So we, for creating an index, we always use enumerate. We can also give start, like start equals 1, so that the index starts from 1, okay?
Mhm.
So we can change to 2. So whenever, whatever the starting index we want, we can add, okay? Likewise, we can even use zip.
What are the other where we can use enumerates in other places, like other examples?
Uh, um, so you can use enumerate in several ways. For example, let's say, for example, if you want to plot something, okay? So if you have a figure, okay, so one line is your red, second line is your black, third line is your blue,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and from and there, if you want to know which one is black, which one is blue, which one is red, and there you can simply assign one index, okay, 0 1 2 3, so that you can, so okay, let me give you an example of where we can use enumerate. So where I have used enumerate is, I can, let's say here, this is the best example, I think. So you can simply think of like, when you want the index of particular item, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to know the index of January, so why you need to know the index? So that you can do some sort of manipulation, right?
Yeah,
So why do
exactly.
we need, yeah, why do we need index? Because you can do some sort of manipulation, or you need to pull some information, and you need to add that, append that information to another list or another loop. So to run a loop, we always, the loop always starts from 0, right? So if we know the index, then we can play with the index and
Mm-hmm.
can use somewhere else, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's why we use, so to generate index, we always use enumerate. And why we need index? So that we can do some sort of manipulation, so that we can extract one index and can append some index to some other place, right? So
Mm-hmm.
for that we use, for example, here I did analysis on COVID-19 data, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So here you can see, mm, I have not used enumerate, but we can use enumerate here. Let's say, so this line, this chart denotes your US, Italy, China, and Australia. Okay, so here we can, so this color is your blue, this color is your brown, something, this color is green. So we can assign an index and can, based on that index, we can declare like this line is your blue, this line is your red. Like for example, here I have given a dictionary. So one of the use case of a dictionary is, you can see here. So if we have a name like Australia, then assign red, RO. RO
Mm-hmm.
means red. Okay, so this is red color, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if it's China, assign it green color. GO means green color, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in this way, look, we have used zip here. Zip is to combine your tuple, right? Combine your, for example, I want to combine all this information, so I have used here zip. Okay, so we will do projects. So right now, I'm starting with very basic. So we
Mm-hmm.
will do projects, and you can see all the use cases of every function that we are right now we are learning.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so enumerate does that. So likewise, zip is to combine. So for example, if I use for I in zip of list 1 comma days. Okay, if I print I, so this you can see here we have this way, we have written the merged information. So this one and this two has been merged into one. Okay, so likewise we can even use enumerate and zip together. So if you use enumerate and zip here, comma start equals 1, print of I comma m, and see here the index. You can even add the index after merging, after using zip function. Yeah. Any question till here? Try one tool by yourself because you will be
Yeah,
lost. Yeah, yeah,
I'm trying this enumerator
yeah.
because it's
Fine.
new for me.
But yeah, because until and unless you don't try,
Mm.
it's hard. Yeah.
Yep, no. Enumerator zip start.
Okay. So likewise we have filter option here. So filter function, what filter does is uh, within an array or within a tuple, it filters your value. For example, here we have a set of numbers. Okay, so here if you want to filter the odd one, okay, so I want to filter all the odd number. Okay, so what we can do, we can simply write a function here. So let's say filter odds of x. Okay,
Mm.
and if the its percent is true, is equal to 0, and return true, else return false. Okay, so here we have written small function that will return true if if your number is even. Okay,
Mhm.
number is even. Okay, so now if we use filter here, filter, so the syntax is first we need to pass the function name. Okay, and then the list or tuple. Okay, so here if we pass this, here this will filter all odds. Okay, so what this does is, so whatever information that is false,
Mhm.
that will be removed. Okay,
Okay.
am I saying opposite or? Yeah,
Yes.
whatever information is false, that will be removed. Okay, so here we can see all odd number goes in false, right? Because the even will be true, odd will be false, right?
Mhm.
So whatever goes in false will be removed. Okay, the filter will remove whatever value we have, whatever value we return as false. Okay, so let's say in this character I want to remove, in this characters I want to remove, let's say the upper case, like capital letters. For example, A is capital here, K is capital here, C is capital here. I want to remove all the uppercase. Okay, so I can simply write a function here, diff filter upper x. So if x dot is upper, then return false. So I want to remove. So what? So the thing that I want to remove, that should always be false. Okay, false as return true. So filter. So your syntax will follow the same. Filter offer. Yeah. Okay. So this will filter all your uppercase. So we only have JIT and UMAR and HAUDHARY. So this will filter all your uppercase. So whatever is there in false, that will all be filtered out.
Mhm.
Filter will remove whatever value we return as false. Okay. So likewise, so you're trying this. You tried this, yeah, by yourself.
Yes. Mm. Okay.
Okay,
One
so
very important.
yeah.
convention and uppercase lowercase, because like this written false uppercase, so
Yeah, this is,
M
yeah,
should be uppercase. Yeah,
yeah.
now it's
So
fine.
these are also very basic interview question. Like they will give you a list or table, and they can say like, I only need odd one, I only need even one. So how can you do that?
Okay.
Yeah, so these are also very basic interview questions. Okay. So likewise, we have map function. So map is very important function.
Mhm.
So this function creates an iterator that takes one or more sequence of values and produce a new sequence by applying a given function to each value in the original sequence. That means just doing a transformation. So if you have one list or one tuple and you want to do some transformation, okay, this transformation means, or if you want to take square root of this, or you want to change the grading from 90 80 to A B C D, so any sort of transformation you want to do,
Mhm.
in that case we use map function. Okay, so for example, if we write a simple function to take a square root, square of number of x, okay, and here written x square, okay, and we simply apply the map. So the syntax is similar to filter. Simply we need to replace this filter by map and square number and comma, and then we need to pass. So
Num.
now we are changing this num. We are doing a square of num. Okay. So if you run this, you can see numbers are squared. Okay.
Okay.
So also, if you want to change the transformation of, let's say, grading, if you want to do some transformation of grading, okay. Let's say we have the grade of x. Let's say if your x is greater than or equals to 80, then return a. Okay, and if your x is greater than or equals to 65 and x is less than 80, then return b. And if your x is greater than or equals to 50 and x is less than 65, then return c. Okay, as return fail. So if we create this function, okay, and then again apply map. So map bracket the function name and then tuple name. If we give, so now, so let's give this as grades.
Function name.
So you can see here, see, because greater than 80 will be a,
Mm-hmm.
so we have converted this number to grade, okay, by using map. Simply we create a function and then we apply that function
Mm-hmm.
to a tuple.
Good.
So try this out. Try this.
Map square and one. No. Yep. Got it.
Okay. So also, if you want to sort this grading, you can even use sorted function bracket this map and then use list. should be one there. Okay, so this will give you the information in sorted form. Okay,
So to sort, it should be in character, number, anything.
so it's like alphabet wise sorting.
Mm.
So 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 in case of, even if in case of number, if you do sorted bracket list, if you pass the list one, four, eight, so this will give you in sorted form. Okay,
Mm.
all good.
Yeah, all good.
Okay, so now comes the string formatting. Okay, let's say we create a dictionary, okay, of cells. So let's say the price, this is the key, and this is the value. Okay, and now we want to pass this key value inside a print statement. Let's say if you want to pass this value in a print statement, so we need to give dot format bracket, and we need to start with this curly bracket here. So this curly bracket means whatever we pass inside dot format. Okay, so this one curly bracket is for this, for portion. Okay, so sales record bracket portion which will return Krish, right? So this one square bracket is for first portion. So this another square bracket is for another, this is for number of items, right? And this one is for price, sales of price. Okay, and fourth one is your total. Okay, so if you need to do any manipulation, like for example, if you create a dictionary and if you want to print the information, let's say I want to do multiplication of price times number of item, and I want to print that information. So to do that, we use a dot format. Okay, so if you run this, you can see here. So this square bracket will take first value. So
Mm-hmm.
here, this is the first value, which is Chris, right? Chris. And then this second one will take second. So this is your item, number of item, second value, and so on. So we can do with dot format, and if we pass here with bracket, open and close curly bracket, and give the parameter what we want, this will give us the result. Okay, so this way we usually don't do, because this way your code is not that much readable, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your code does not look much readable. So to make a more readable code, we use a template.
Template. Okay.
Okay, so let's say if we have str1, let's say if I say welcome to one bracket, this will be the parameter, welcome to job ready course, with another parameter we pass here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, so this is dot, if we give dot format, so dot format, and we pass here like data analyst comma a, then this one will have this value,
Mm, yes.
and this one will have this value, right?
Mhm.
So if we enter str, okay, so by using template we can make our code more readable. Okay, so let's say if I declare temp1 equals template bracket here, welcome to, so we always start with dollar and then double quote, and here we will pass course name. Okay, course name is job ready course with let's say author, dollar, and then again start with double curly bracket, author author. Okay, now what we do, we pass this temp one that we have created as our, as if we use substitute, if, so here if we keep course name equals, here if we give here data analyst comma, this name should match, course name should match this name, author should match, so this author spelling should match exactly,
Mhm.
course name should match exactly. Okay, so if we use int of str2, so we need to import this library template first. Okay, now we can see here, so this is more readable form, like we can say that, like here we don't know what does this data analyst refer to, right? What
Mhm.
does Ajit refer to? But here if you look at this code, this is a more readable code. Here we have given like your data analyst is what, your course name, okay,
Mhm.
and the author is Ajit. So if this indicates we are referring to course name and the author name, right? So this is more readable code in comparison to this. So we usually write code in this way by declaring a template. Okay,
Mhm.
also we can declare a template as dictionary. So let's say data bracket, and even pass a dictionary, let's say course name and then data analyst comma author is an object. Okay, now str3 equals temp1 dot substitute str3. Okay, so we can pass this as key value index as well.
Okay.
Okay, so likewise we can, if you want to, so this is the syntax for dollar, then it starts with curly bracket. Okay, but if suppose let's say if you have another, let's say temp2 is your template, yes, my monthly income is, so if you only give one bracket, okay, and give here income, okay, and we use substitute and income is equals to 1000. Okay, and if we print str3, so here we have it in temp1. Okay, so temp1, so here it says course name because it is referring to this,
Mhm.
so we need to change this to temp2. Okay, so it's 1000. So if you need to add a dollar here, so instead of doing dollar here, we can even do dollar double dollar here, double dollar will be equivalent to $1, so here we can add $1. Okay, so this way of writing code is more readable, right? Because we know what we are talking about. So your data analyst, what is data analyst here? Simply writing this code will not tell you, like it's like hard coding some value in your format,
Mhm.
right? So this code will make your code more readable. Okay, so that's why we use template. So one reason of using template is it is more readable, and The more readable code we write, so the better analyst, better programmer we are, right? So whatever code we have written, if it is well understood to everyone, that means we have written good code, right? So yeah, so this is how we create a template and populate strings. Okay, so today let's end this much till today. Okay.
Mhm.
So today was a very basic part. So do a revision of all these things like any all building function, dictionary list, tuple, jeep in enumerate. So these are all basic things. Jeep enumerates, filter map filter is very important,
Mhm.
right? And using a template to manipulate strings is also very important. So whatever I have taught you is very important and very much required
Mhm.
for doing any sort of project in data analysis. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, so this was the basic part. In the next week we will start with data manipulation in files. So in next week, if you see, so I have closed Chrome over. Get up here. I don't have access. Next week, or we will start with playing with files. So reading and writing CSV files. So we will start with playing with files and doing a bit of data analysis using files, right? So these were the files that we did in R even, right? So
Mhm.
MPG dataset we have used. So this one is we have used R to do last time we did in R. So we will be
Mhm.
doing this in Python even. So this will be our second week.
Mhm.
Next week we'll start with manipulating with files. Okay. So this was very basic mm, thing in Python. So let's take a 5 minute break and then let's start with Tableau.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will be back in 5 minutes. Okay.
Okay.